Hello? Hello? Right, that's freaked me out a little bit, so I'm just gonna
Sure you got proof. In remote places, fear doesn't always announce itself. It creeps in through cold nights, distant movement, and the feeling of being watched. Tonight's stories include footprints appearing in fresh snow and a silent figure vanishing in the woods before a stranger returns again and again. When isolation turns uneasy, would you wait it out or get out fast? The video comes from Sort of Interesting, a UK-based solo adventure channel known for quiet, observational exploration. The content focuses on endurance challenges, wild camping, and testing personal limits, often capturing discomfort and tension without exaggeration or dramatic framing. The footage takes place on January 9th, 2026, in a snow-covered woodland in the United Kingdom.
Welcome to my first ever sub-0 degree camping trip, and also my first real cold temperature test. I've come down to a secret little area that I've camped out at before, and as I was on my way there so that you could see the lovely scenery lit up in the darkness, and then it started to snow a little bit more heavily. I'm potentially going to get absolutely covered in snow, so I came out to this little hidden spot and just checked the ground conditions. So I could build a small shelter if it was a little bit windy and I wanted to take that wind chill off. And the trouble I've got here is the tree cover is so spindly, so if somebody comes past in the small hours with a torch, they're going to see a tarp and that unnatural tall in here. So without creating a tarp shelter, we are going to have a really low profile camp setup and an Elpkit Elan hooped bivvy. I'm so glad I bought that as my first bivvy bag last year, but that hooped section just makes it feel that little bit more open and substantial than my really basic bivvy bag. So I'm going to use two relatively low-end sleeping mattresses, which was certainly not ideal, and you'll see more on that in just a moment.
The camper begins his first ever sub-zero bivvy camp, aiming to test a new winter sleeping bag in real conditions. To reduce risk, he selects a woodland location close to civilization, an area he has camped in before, unaware that this familiar place would soon feel anything but safe. Snowfall quickly becomes heavier than expected, forcing him to abandon plans for scenic filming and focus entirely on setting up camp before becoming soaked and cold. With sparse tree cover and a high chance of being seen, he decides not to build a tarp shelter. Instead, he creates an extremely low-profile bivvy setup directly on the ground. Snow continues to fall steadily as visibility drops and temperatures sink further. As daylight fades, the first unsettling moment of the night occurs.
This was the moment the first drama of the night happened. Somebody over there, there's somebody over there. There has been somebody walking around out there. Unfortunately, I've waited and waited, and you can see the snow started to collect. I can't do this in total darkness, so might as well just put the light on and go for it. I don't know if anyone's out there or not. I've been spotted. I'll keep my ear out. Obviously, I'm going to hear a lot of noise if somebody approaches the camp tonight.
While arranging his sleeping mats, the camper suddenly freezes after hearing movement nearby in the woods. Unsure whether the sound comes from an animal or another person, he stops completely and listens in silence. Snow continues to gather on his bivvy and equipment as he waits, unable to safely continue setting up.
Drama happened when I knew that I'd seen a light. I've got absolute footprints leading right towards me. There, you saw that absolute clear. Oh, I hope that's on the camera. Oh. Every now and then they just catch directly towards me. Luckily, the lights didn't get that close to me.
Once the snowfall eases, he notices something deeply unsettling. Clear footprints in the snow leading directly toward his camp. At the same time, distant lights appear intermittently, pointing in his direction before drifting away again. Realizing that his own tracks are highly visible, he switches to dimmer lighting and remains motionless for long periods, growing steadily colder as he waits for the lights to disappear.
What was that? It's not very far away, and that I do not like. Foxes! Oh, I hope that's foxes. Listen. That has given me goosebumps even more than the mic.
In the early hours of the morning, while lying awake in his bivvy, he is startled by loud, sudden screams nearby. The sound is intense enough to trigger immediate alarm. After listening carefully, he determines the noise is coming from foxes. Even so, the experience leaves him shaken and unable to fully relax. No direct confrontation occurs that night, but the experience is defined by uncertainty rather than comfort. Unexplained movement, footprints approaching the camp, distant lights, and sudden animal screams, combined with extreme cold and isolation, keep the camper on edge throughout the night. By morning, he reflects that staying close to civilization was the right choice for his first Sub-Zero test. As daylight returns, he packs away frozen gear and leaves the woodland, left thinking about how fast a quiet winter camp can feel wrong, not because of anything clearly seen, but because of what never becomes clear. In cold darkness and falling snow, even small signs like footprints or distant movement can change the way a place feels. If you came across something like that near your camp, would you wait it out and see what happens, or decide it's better to head out while you still can? This unsettling footage comes from Rick, the creator behind the YouTube channel Rick and His Van, where he documents life on the road from inside his self-converted camper van. Rick travels from place to place, sharing his journeys across the country, along with the realities of van life, including both its challenges and practical lessons learned along the way. On October 26, 2023, Rick set out on what he believed would be another routine trip. This time, however, he chose to spend the night parked inside a woodland known locally for its unsettling reputation. It was a personal test, staying alone overnight in a place many locals avoided after dark. What began as a calm and uneventful stop soon shifted into one of the most frightening experiences Rick had ever faced.
This is the Common. Now, I've been here before and shot a few videos here before, and a couple of other things that I've filmed here. It's only up the road from me, so it's a really easy place to come to. And you can camp in your vans here, and you're allowed as well. Something to do with bylaws and some common land. So I'm here, I'm just going to sit in the van, make myself something to eat, let it get a bit colder and a bit darker. The wood's over there, and see what we can find. Let's get some food on. Right, so this is home for the night. First things first, dinner, particularly exotic or gourmet. Hot dogs, frankfurters, but they do taste amazing, which I love. I am missing a beer. That's the one thing I didn't bring. First, let me just take you outside. I haven't shown you exactly where we are and where the van is. So, this is it. This will be home for the night. They're the woods that we're going to. This is it. Right, let's go get dinner on.
Rick parked his van in a secluded spot deep within the forest, an area he had visited before and felt comfortable with. The air was cool and the surroundings were quiet, wrapped in a stillness that only exists when completely alone. At first, nothing felt unusual or out of place. Feeling settled, Rick prepared a simple meal inside the van, planning to eat before night fully set in. The atmosphere remained peaceful, almost reassuring, with no sign of what was about to unfold.
Just going to tuck into these. I don't judge. I have made 4. I am a hungry man, but I am going to double up on the sausage inside the bun. I'm going to scoff these and then get ready to go into the woods. No idea where on earth I'm going. I'm just going to follow the, well, pathway. See where we're going. I mean, this is ridiculous. I've got no idea where I'm going. Oh, there's a gate. Let me go through here. Oh, hello. What's that? What is that in the woods there? Look, what's that? Oh, I think I found the church. That was easy. Ah, that's not a gate. That is a fence. There's the church.
After eating, Rick picked up a torch and decided to explore the nearby woods. Moving through the trees, he unexpectedly came across a small church hidden among the forest. As he examined the area, something occurred that immediately broke the sense of calm.
Oh, right, let's go and have a look. Just check this out. I haven't come prepped with the best torch in the world. Oh yeah, look at that. What is a little church like that doing in the middle of the woods? The hell is that? Hello? Hang on. Did you see that? Or was that just me? There's my gimbal. I left my gimbal there. Swear. This me. Oh, there was someone standing there. There was someone standing right here. I swear to God, there was someone standing right here by my gimbal. Right. Right, that's freaked me out a little bit, so I'm just gonna go. Right, I'm not joking you, that's just slammed itself shut. I can't look it. I'm looking at. There's my gimbal. Oh, dropped my phone. Getting out of here. I did not like that noise. Right, where am I going? I can't even see where I'm going. Right, that was weird.
Rick noticed a figure dressed entirely in black, standing completely still in the darkness, unmoving like a mannequin. He instinctively shone his torch toward it, but in an instant, the figure vanished. There was no movement, no sound, just empty space where someone had been moments before. Panic set in as Rick tried to understand what he had seen. He was certain someone had been there, yet the speed at which they vanished made no sense. Attempting to calm himself, Rick tried to explain the encounter as a trick of the mind, but moments later, a loud metallic bang echoed through the forest. He checked a nearby fence gate, assuming it caused the noise, but the uneasy feeling only deepened. Shaken, Rick returned to his van and prepared to sleep, convincing himself the experience was over. Just as he drifted off, he was suddenly jolted awake.
Right, it is, what is it? 1 o'clock in the morning. I just got woken up by someone trying the van door handles. Right, there was a knock. Someone was trying the van door handles as well. I'm going to turn the lights out. Someone was trying the van door handles. I heard a car pull up. There's definitely a car pulled up outside. I'm going to have a look. Well, that was weird. I opened the van doors and then within a minute there was a car reversing up and it's just driven off. I don't know who they were, but we're all locked up, so we're safe. They can't get in, hence why they were knocking. So, I'm going to roll over and I'm going to try and get back to sleep. Try again. All right.
Around 1 in the morning, someone was trying the van's door handles. Before he could fully react, loud knocking followed from just outside the vehicle. There was no doubt. Someone was deliberately testing the doors. When Rick cautiously opened the door, the situation took an even stranger turn. A vehicle immediately reversed and drove away, disappearing into the darkness of the forest. The timing felt deliberate, as if whoever was there never intended to be seen. Still trying to remain calm, Rick considered that it might have been someone lost or passing through. He locked the doors and lay back down, hoping the disturbance had ended. It hadn't. He was awakened again by sharp, deliberate knocking, echoing through the silent woodland. Soon after, the same vehicle returned. This time, the knocking felt slow, firm, and intentional, no longer random.
I can't believe this. Let me turn the lights on. I've heard that car come back. And it's about 2:45 now. That van's come back. Well, that car's come back. That 4x4 vehicle. I can't hear anyone. I can't hear anyone talking outside. There we go. There we go. Right. Literally haven't slept. This. I am going home. They've driven off again. I didn't even look out. I just peered through my curtains that I've got up, and it's driven off again. I don't know if this is anywhere I shouldn't be parked, but I'm going. I'm not staying here anymore.
Rick stayed completely still, barely breathing, trusting his instincts. After several tense minutes, the vehicle reversed once more and vanished into the darkness, but the unease lingered. The repeated visits, combined with the earlier sighting of the silent figure in black, made the situation feel calculated. The disappearance of the figure had felt unnatural, almost unreal, and now the persistent knocking suggested something far more dangerous than Rick had first believed. A chilling realization set in. If he had opened the door, the outcome could have been far worse. The forest was isolated, and help would not have come quickly. With adrenaline surging, Rick made a decision. He quietly started the engine and drove away. headlights slicing through the trees as he left the woodland behind. What was meant to be a peaceful night in nature became a disturbing and unanswered mystery. Who had been watching him? Who kept returning to the van? And what might have happened if he had opened that door? Those answers remain unknown. But Rick trusted his instincts, and that choice may have saved him from something far more dangerous. If someone tested your door in the middle of the night, would you stay still and wait it out, or leave before the situation got worse? The video comes from DB Interactive Media, a US-based channel that shares a wide range of content, from frightening camping footage to videos filmed inside popular theme parks. The footage was recorded on September 9th, 2015, inside the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near the Mogollon Rim in Arizona, United States.
All right, guys, this is gonna be really weird. What the hell? Did you see that? Okay, I'm alone in the middle of the forest. I have wandered around all day. There's nobody here. I'm the only one. And I keep seeing these flashes off in the distance in the trees. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. It happens about every minute. It's really strange. Let me see if you can see it. Hang on a second. I know it's dark, guys. I want you to kind of focus between in this. Oh, did you just see that?
The location is remote, densely wooded, and far from any marked roads. The live stream begins with the camper already deep in the forest at night, completely alone. He explains that he spent the entire day wandering the area and confirms that no one else is nearby. A small campfire burns behind him, while elk can be heard calling somewhere in the distance. Almost immediately, he reports noticing something unusual ahead. Brief flashes of light appearing between the trees. The first clearly visible flash appears between two trunks, glowing for a moment before disappearing. As the livestream continues, the flashes return again and again, appearing intermittently in the same area of the forest. Sometimes the light appears higher, sometimes lower, but always within the tree line. The camper reacts with visible confusion, repeatedly emphasizing that he is alone and unable to explain what he is seeing.
Up there in these trees. Oh, did you see that flash? It looked like really weird, and I'm the only one out here. I'm gonna shut this off. Let's see if you, because it keeps doing it. Let's see if you see it. So you hear the elk? I have no axe, nothing. Now, did you just see that? Did you see it? Campfire going here, but see, I have this campfire roar in here. Okay, so hang on, back it up. I don't know if you guys can keep seeing this behind me when I'm doing this here. Hang on. There we go. Maybe you'll see it behind me. I've wandered everywhere in the forest here all day. I see every star in the sky. There's no clouds. There were earlier different areas. It's really weird, and I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher, and I don't know what it is. I just hear elk around. It's kind of freaky. All right, I'll turn it back again. Hang on. It is really freaky. I've never seen anything like it. Okay. All right, let's see if we can see it now. No helicopter. Oh, did you see it? It's over there in the trees. All right, here we go. I'm gonna shut the light off. Wow, there's 106 people witnessing this light. Hang on. This is really strange. That was kind of a dim in a different area. I've got the fire to my back here, so it's kind of hard for me to see in the distance, and maybe you won't see it as well, but I think you saw it a few times.
The forest remains quiet except for distant elk calls. He attempts to capture the flashes on camera, adjusting his position and angle as the light continues to appear, vanish, and reappear in different spots among the trees. He notes that the location is not far from the area connected to Travis Walton's alleged UFO abduction, an event made famous by fire in the sky. This background adds weight to the situation as the lights continue to flash from the same section of forest. Over time, the flashes become brighter and appear to move sideways between the trees.
I saw a little light to the right, just a tiny one. That looked like a lightning bug. But then a big flash over there. Huge flash. This is real. Oh, and it keeps moving. This is crazy. Flare, but I mean, how often would that flare keep going? And it's been doing it for like 20 minutes. Oh, there it went again.
The camper estimates that the light is hovering roughly 30 to 40 feet off the ground, remaining below the treetops and never touching the forest floor. He carefully rules out common explanations such as fireflies, vehicles, helicopters, and lightning.
If you were out here alone, would you walk? Now it keeps looking like it's shining through the trees like a flashlight. It stays in the middle of the trees about, I'd say 20 to 30. Oh, that's like 30, 40 feet in the air. It's like flash, but it looks like it's moving, but it doesn't hit the ground and it doesn't go beyond the tops of the trees. It just stays in the middle.
The light then shifts position again, appearing closer than before. The camper repeatedly checks behind him and scans the area around his camp, openly acknowledging how exposed he feels. He points out that he is unarmed and completely alone. Elk calls continue in the distance, while the rest of the forest feels unnaturally silent.
A bear in the tree, about 30 feet up. And it's weird, it's localized in that area. It's really odd. I haven't drank anything. Do you guys see it? Oh, and that stayed lit longer.
At one point, a single flash remains visible longer than the others. This extended glow visibly unsettles him. He pauses, watches the trees closely, and admits that the situation is beginning to genuinely frighten him. After nearly 20 minutes of repeated flashing lights, the camper decides not to approach whatever is in the forest. He stays close to his campfire and vehicle, fully aware of how vulnerable he is in such an isolated location, with no explanation and no sign that the activity is stopping. He ends the live stream without answers. Being alone in a remote forest can make small, unexplained details feel much bigger, and especially when there's no clear source for what you're seeing. If you notice lights like this moving through the trees while camping alone, would you stay to observe or leave before things felt worse? The unsettling encounter of the night comes from Adam in the Wild, a UK-based YouTube channel where Adam records genuine, unscripted outdoor experiences. His content often centers on stealth camping, solo overnight stays, and camping in socially or logistically difficult locations, blending light humor with real tension rather than staged scares. The footage was recorded on July 20th, 2023, in England, United Kingdom, inside a woodland area just off the A64 near the Red Bus Cafe lay-by.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm literally more than waist height in bushes. Oh, I'm falling over it a lot. This isn't the spot I found before, but I think there's a flat spot in there. There is clear paths, but I just can't see them in dark, man. Yeah, there's flat spots here. Oh, that'll do. Right, the road's just through there.
After parking near the roadside, Adam enters the woods in near total darkness. He struggles to follow faint paths, pushing through thick undergrowth and uneven terrain. Visibility is extremely limited, and the area shows clear signs of frequent foot traffic, making the woodland feel more active and less isolated than expected.
At first I thought it was an owl. I think it's either foxes shagging or human, and she's having a great time. This is mental, this.
While attempting to pitch his tent, Adam begins hearing nearby sounds he cannot immediately identify. He pauses to listen, unsure whether the noises are coming from animals or from people, especially given the location's proximity to the road. The uncertainty immediately heightens his tension as the woodland no longer feels empty.
I've got to turn the flash off because we've got some doggers. We've got some doggers. Look. Fuck you. Oh my God. We've got some doggers. There's a car here. Right. Let's go see if we can find them in action. Right. There's a car here. There's only one reason why there's a car here. And that's because they're up to something.
Later in the night, Adam leaves his tent to check the surrounding area and notices a vehicle parked at the lay-by. He recognizes that there are limited reasons for a car to arrive at this hour, and the realization that others may be using the same space causes him to move more cautiously through the woods.
They're in the same woods as me, man. Oh, that's quite a scary thought. This is mental. We're celebrating finding some doggers. The stealth camp worry inside me is saying they are in the same woods as me, but I just can't find them. Might be a bit awkward if I found them.
He searches briefly but is unable to locate anyone, which only adds to the unease. Knowing that unseen people may be nearby makes the situation feel awkward and potentially unsafe, prompting him to return to his campsite.
I can only describe as something or someone knocking around my tent. Been on this channel for 3 years, you know how honest I am. I'm not just going to say to you, oh, it was definitely a person, because it could have been a fox or a badger or a whatever. I saw a dead skunk on the road, I think, but then I don't know if it was just in my head, but I heard like someone was talking. Could have been that car, that was.
At around 2 a.m., Adam wakes to the sound of movement close to his tent. He describes it as something shifting or knocking nearby. though he cannot confirm whether it was caused by an animal, a person, or something else entirely. He also believes he may have heard voices, but remains unsure. Sleep becomes difficult, and the rest of the night passes with a little rest. By early morning, Adam packs up quickly and leaves the area, heading straight to work. He later reflects that the night was uncomfortable and mentally exhausting, especially knowing that other people had been present in the woods while he slept. Although the stealth camp itself was technically successful, the combination of darkness, nearby strangers, unexplained nighttime sounds, and lack of sleep leaves him questioning whether camping in locations like this is worth continuing. Nothing clearly dangerous ever appears, but the mix of poor visibility and unseen people nearby is what makes the night feel wrong. If you realized others were moving around your camp without you seeing them, would you stay and ride it out, or pack up and leave before things got worse? The next video of the night comes from Camping with Sasquatch, a US-based outdoor encrypted exploration channel that focuses on solo and small group camping trips in remote forest areas. The channel is known for documenting unusual sounds, disturbed trees, and strange woodland formations often linked to Sasquatch folklore. The footage is dated March 5th, 2025, and takes place inside Sam Houston National Forest in East Texas, United States. The narrator explains that his friend Brandon is camping nearby, and the two meet to talk about recent reports of Sasquatch activity in the area. They set out together on a night hike along a gated Forest Service road. Brandon lets out a loud howl to see if it triggers any response from the surrounding woods. The forest stays completely silent, with no wind or background noise, creating a tense and expectant atmosphere.
Tree got pushed over, just right up this way, probably, I don't know how far. It wasn't really far, but it was
200 yards maybe.
Yeah, maybe 150 yards.
Only minutes after the howl, a living tree roughly 100 to 150 yards away is suddenly forced over. Loud cracking and crashing sounds echo through the forest. Despite the absence of wind or any visible cause, the noise is sudden and deeply unsettling. After returning to camp, another sound nearly identical to the first is heard sometime later.
Have you ever heard that before? No.
That isn't the end of it. A while after returning to camp, we heard another very similar sound.
The following day, during calm and sunny conditions, Brandon hears a sharp cracking noise again, followed by barred owl calls. These sounds come from different areas of the forest, reinforcing the idea that the activity was not limited to nighttime.
It's kind of interesting that a broken tree, probably 8 feet up the hike, going through a lot of baby trees here, lots of arches. It's pretty cool. If you can see that through there, that's a bit odd. Let's see if we can have a closer look at that, like an arch there. Huh. It's like a little dome again. Wow. God.
While exploring the area nearby, the narrator points out unusual tree formations, including arches, dome-like shapes, and small shelter-style arrangements made from bent or fallen trees. These formations stand out from the surrounding forest, creating an almost otherworldly impression and suggesting places where something could remain hidden. Looking back on the experience, the narrator reflects on how the sudden tree fall, the unexplained sounds, and the daytime cracking all highlight how unpredictable the forest can be. When combined with the strange tree structures, the events leave both men with more questions than answers. If you experienced something similar in a remote forest, would you try to investigate further, or would you choose to leave and not look back?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.